Hi guys, Jeff here, GM8OFQ. Like me, I'm sure there's many of you K4 owners out there who would like to operate remotely, but so far Elecraft have failed to produce the virtual K4 remote software. It was demonstrated at Dayton way back in I think 2018, but so far they've failed to produce a released version of it. So a lot of people have found various methods of running the K4 remotely, but I thought I'd just run a short video here to show you the method that I'm using at the moment, and had a lot of success with it. So we'll take a look at some of the hardware and the software, and then we'll see if we can raise a couple of contacts and show you the sort of quality of the remote connection. Okay, so taking a look at the hardware then, we have a K4 Delta connected via LAN cable to the 4G router, which is in another room. We have a sound mixer, a Behringer sound mixer, which enables me to split the audio from the main and the sub receiver and feed it via Skype through to the client laptop. And then we have the two rotator controllers. We have the server laptop, a Windows 10 computer, which suffices quite easily to run several programs simultaneously, and also connected via LAN to the 4G router. Rather than leaving everything switched on all the time when you're away operating at your remote site, you need to be able to switch power supplies and any other equipment on and off remotely. And also to enable the K4 to be switched on, you have to have a connection from the accessory socket, pin 8, which has to be momentarily grounded to switch the K4 on remotely. That's the only way of doing it at the moment. So this remote relay web switch allows me to switch equipment on and off remotely. And as you can see, there's several connectors, 8 connectors there. And you can have normally open or normally closed connections to allow that. And that also connected via a LAN cable to the router. One very useful piece of equipment that I've found is this little gadget here, which is it's a DB15 connector, a male connector, and it's a breakout connector, and enables you just to connect pin 8 to pin ground, and that is then fed into the remote web relay switch, so you can momentarily ground the pin 8 remotely, and that switches the K4 on. And the client computer, a very old Windows 7 computer, 500 gigabyte hard drive, and we'll show you how that is connected remotely to the K4 when we take a look at the software in a minute. On the software side, on the server computer, I'm running Ham Radio Deluxe and also Win for K4 Suite for rig control. We'll see how those both operate together a little bit later. Running the Ham Radio Deluxe logbook application and PST rotator for rotator control. For a remote desktop connection, I'm using RealVNC. It's a very good application, very quick and easy to set up, and you can download it from the RealVNC website. And for audio connection, we are using Skype. There are various other audio applications that some people use. I do find Skype very useful because it does enable you to use any webcams that you have in the shack to watch any video, rather than using separate webcams through an internet connection. So Skype, you have to have two Skype accounts, one for the server and one for the client, and we'll see how that works again in a minute.
Okay, so moving on with the actual operation and connection of the K4 to the client computer, let's take a look at the software that's involved. First thing we have to do is to connect the remote desktop to the server. Now, this computer is at the moment connected to my Android phone running a mobile hotspot, so I'm working through the internet, although the computer is in the shack sitting next to the server computer, but the actual signals are all going via the internet. So the first thing we need to do then is to connect the remote desktop, and we're using RealVNC for that. So we start VNC, and straight away you can see that the panel comes up and it shows the remote server. So I'm going to click on that. It'll look for the connection, and we then can see the remote screens, the 4 remote screens that I have connected to the K4 or to the server computer, and we'll load the software in just a second. One thing to note is that there is no port forwarding involved with the remote desktop. So the RealVNC is looking for the server computer, which is again connected to the internet. So when it finds the server computer, it connects, and then you can see the remote desktop. So there's the 4 screens. This one here is the primary monitor, the actual laptop screen, and we can see all the programs that we just saw on the computer a few minutes ago. So what we need to do then is to first of all switch on the K4. So to do that, what we're going to do is go to that KM-tronic web relay switch that we saw a little bit earlier. And by the way, what we're doing now is only using 2 programs on the client computer here. One is the remote desktop RealVNC application, and the other one will be the second Skype account. All control of the equipment and the K4 back in the shack is all done via remote desktop. So I'm controlling everything on the server computer. So let's have a look here. I've got power supply already switched on, and the K4 12 volt power supply is also available. So what we have to do now is actually switch the K4 on. If you remember, I said we have to connect pin 8 momentarily to ground to switch the K4 on. So using that remote web relay switch, I'm just going to click it on, click it back off again, so I don't need it to stay on all the time. And so the K4 should now be on. So what we're going to do is check to see if it's actually switched on. And what I'm going to do now is to load up Skype on the client computer. Skype is already running on the server computer. That starts automatically when the server computer is switched on. So I'm going to start up Skype, and straight away you can see Skype is connected, and we're actually getting a picture of the K4 screen. So I'm just going to take that down a little bit. I'm going to get rid of this this web server. I'm just going to move that monitor out of the way, get rid of that, back to the server main screen, and we need to find out if we're getting audio coming through. So let me just get the headset on here. Okay, we've got audio coming through on Skype. So now let's start up our programs on the server computer. So first of all, I'm going to hit Ham Radio Deluxe to give us rig control. So it'll take just a few seconds to fire up, and there we go. We've got connection to the radio now from the server computer into the K4. Once we've got the Ham Radio Deluxe up, I can start the logbook. The logbook takes a little while. I've got 160 odd thousand contacts in the logbook, so it takes a minute or so to get going. And once that is loaded, then we can fire up the other programs and check to see if we have rig control. So as you can see, we're on 40 meters. We're getting audio coming through from the K4. Now if we go to Skype on the server computer, we can see that we can look at various webcams. So I've got 3 or 4 webcams connected to the server computer, and that enables us to take a look at some video from the shack. At the moment it's running the mirrored screen from the K4 via a video capture card that's connected to the server. But I can look at another picture of the shack, and hopefully I'll just switch that webcam on, and we can see hopefully that you can see it up there in the corner, the picture of the K4 and the various screens attached to the K4 up there in the corner. You can get a larger picture. That'll come up in a second, hopefully. We'll wait for that to come up. Okay, so we've got remote desktop connection. We've got the audio coming through. Let's see if we can change frequency on the K4. So I'm going to bring up Ham Radio Deluxe, and let's just change frequency. We're on 7157 at the moment. Let's go to 7140. Ham Radio Deluxe, I find, is a little bit more useful than the Win4 K4 suite for searching for stations. It's got the two frequency bars here, one coarse and one fine, and depending on the speed of your internet connection, the fine tuning band enables you just to slide through the frequencies fairly quick, or the coarse one you can change frequencies by 200 or 300 kcs with one click. So that's the Ham Radio Deluxe. Okay, so the logbook is up and loaded now. It's running. You can see another way we can change frequencies through Ham Radio Deluxe logbook is clicking on the DX cluster spots here. So we got let's see, a nice strong signal probably from the Belgium. Let's have a look. Oscar Sierra 5 Delta Echo Mike. Double click on that. And we can bring up the log entry window on Ham Radio Deluxe here with all the information taken from qrz.com. Any previous contacts with that station would also be shown. So that's Ham Radio Deluxe, rig control and logbook application. We can now start the two rotator control applications. They'll take a few seconds to load. They'll come up on one of the other screens here on this screen. Here they go. Yep, they're loading up now. And we can bring up a couple of maps to help us with rotator control. I'll just put the maps up there. And then we can load up the Win4K4 suite, which I find has a lot more sophisticated control over the K4. Ham Radio Deluxe does give you some control, but Win4K4 is designed specifically for the K4 Delta. So you have both main and sub-receiver controls, plus all the other controls for VFOs, for audio control. You've got the equalizer, all the filtering. So it's much more complicated and sophisticated to control the K4. It also gives you club log spots as well. So you've got club log plus the DX cluster. So you can see what's going on from the K4. So another good thing about the Win4K4 suite is that you get the pan adapter display. So you can see a band here, 40. Let me just shut that down. You can see a lot of activity. It's a contest weekend, so a lot of activity going on here. Let me just adjust the controls. You have full control over the pan adapter display. This is for VFO A, as you can see, but if I want VFO B, I just go back to the Win4K4 suite and click on pan adapter B, and then slide back to the other monitor, and there's a VFO-B pan adapter display. And you have full control. You can click on this as well. So if I want Sierra November 7 Delta, just double click on that, and it goes. The blue bar is VFO-A, the green bar VFO-B. So you can see a very, very busy band at the moment. So that's all the applications loaded there. You can hear the audio coming through. Control over the K4. I tend to prefer to use Win4K4. It has the transmit button here, conveniently located, together with all the other controls, of course. So we'll just see if we get a transmit. Yep, we've got transmit control there. Okay, and just going back to the Skype control again, and let's go back to the server computer. Get up Skype here. Okay, and going back to okay, very good. So that's the okay, just make sure webcam control is coming up. And there's the webcam picture. So there's the webcam showing the shack. You can see the Pan adapter display on the K4, and I can change the webcam if I wanted to. I can put on another webcam if I go back to the server computer, to the Skype control on the server computer, and I can change. I got a choice of the K4 screen display, mirrored. As you can see, there's a little mini screen there showing the K4 screen. And I can also change the webcam again to a different webcam. We'll go to this one here. Click on that one, and there you can see the other webcam picture of the shack, a wider angle view of the shack. And you can move this screen around. You can move it to whichever remote screen you want, and then just click on it. There's a very useful little application that I've got on the server computer called Win on Top as well. And this little application, you can control a particular application, a window on the application, to keep it on top of another window, which can be very useful. So that's the connection all made. We're getting audio through. We know we've got control over the K4. So the thing to do now is to see if we can get a couple of contacts. Shouldn't be too difficult. It's quite a busy band. We'll just try and find somebody who's not contesting, so we can have a little chat. So I'll get that all set up now. Okay, so let's see if we can find a quick contact here to make sure everything is working okay. Okay, we have a contest station. So we have Sugar Norway 7 Delta. Let's put him in the log here to start with. Sugar Norway 7 Delta. And we go to Win for K4 here, to the transmit button, and we'll give him a shout and see if we get a response from him. Golf Mike 8 Oscar Foxtrot Quebec. Golf Mike 8 Oscar Foxtrot Quebec 5927, Roger. Roger, copied. Good luck, 73. Bye-bye. Okay, so there we go. We're getting out anyway. Good strong station, but very busy band with contests. So I don't think we're going to get a chatty QSO, but proves that it works anyway. Very good. Okay, shutting down everything, of course, is just the reverse of starting it up. Turning the applications on the server, turning all those off, and closing down the logbook before you switch off the rig control applications, shutting all the other applications down, and then finally to to close the K4 down remotely, that you can do. You don't need to have a web relay switch for that, because Win4 K4 Suite actually allows you to turn off the K4. As you can see there, you click the file, turn off K4, KPA and exit. I won't do that now, I'll just let it run, but that's the way you switch the K4 off remotely. And then of course just shut down the VNC remote desktop and close down Skype, and you're back to where you started. So hopefully that gives you some idea of how easy it is to set up the remote desktop with Skype for rig control and audio, send and receive audio. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate, send me an email or catch up with me on the air, and I'm very happy to explain anything that you're not too sure about. This is Jeff, GM8OFQ73.